Have you ever wondered how is it possible that real estate works for everybody that tries to go do it, but perhaps you? Have you ever sat back and wondered how is it possible that I've tried all the tricks of the trade, but it just doesn't seem to be working for me? So tonight, what we wanted to do is just to unpack a few of the key indicators that and I have used, me for the last, I don't know, since 2004, Dan since 1989. And we want to share with you what has kept us in the business for this long. And we're going to put a phone number in the description below where you can call in. If you haven't already, make sure you join our wait list. If you're a landlord that's getting completely slaughtered in the buy and hold business, you tried the BRRRR method and it didn't work out for you as it didn't work for me. We are here not only to love on you, but to be a shoulder to cry on. And further, we are here to whip you in shape to get you back in the game. Round up, homies. Good evening. As I return back to you from Disney World, it is such an honor. I got to show y'all a few pictures real quick, if you don't mind. We're sitting here. So I just got back from Disney World. It is, I don't know, man. We got any Disney World people? Y'all let me know where you are in the chat, who you are, where you are, and where you're coming from in the chat, please. So every time I go to Disney World, I feel this sense of obligation to come back and share. That's my beautiful wife. We're walking through. This is Avatar. They have like this. If you've never been, they got this Avatar world, if you will, and they have a safari where you can see rhinos and just lions hanging out. Look at that big old tail right there. Wasn't that cool? We go through they got a safari. What else? You got the ball. Oh, the ball wasn't working. I was upset. The ball didn't work this time. And we only took my small kid. We didn't take the older two. They need to stay here and do something. And every year Walt Disney, they have a Halloween festival that you can go to. And we all went to it and it was really cool. So that's a few pictures there. I just wanted to share y'all where I have been. Oh wait, Tiana. Tiana has her own ride now. You can drive through there and meet the people. So we'll get back to that if anybody wants to see more pictures of that. But as I was walking through, it just amazes me the magnitude and the thought that they have put into these rides. That not only that, there are not of people that get to go to Disney that look like me. I did see some as the weekend came up, but I just wonder, like, what is it? What can I do? How can I be a part of my community to share information? And I don't want to gatekeep anything. That's why we are moving. I'm kind of pivoting my content. Make sure I put this phone number up here. I'm pivoting the content here, y'all, to include some traditional real estate investing stuff. What does that mean? You know, I live in the world of non-conventional, non-traditional real estate. And that means not necessarily using banks. We're not necessarily going out there and using credit and tax returns and all that stuff. But my trusted advisors came to me recently. They said, Chris, not everybody's going to go out there and be a money raiser, right? Not everybody's going to go out there and ask people for hundreds of thousands of dollars to finance their real estate deals. Not everybody wants to actually go ask people for money. So I am pivoting a little bit and I'm adding some traditional bank financing stuff to help you get the financing. Not only that, to help you with your strategy, because what I have learned is we don't necessarily have a money problem. We've got a strategy problem. So we're going to take your calls tonight. Dan and I, every Sunday we go here. We want to answer questions. What is it that you're doing? How can we help you? Well, how are the deals coming by? Miss James, what's going on? What up? So we listed a house recently. I'll show you that one. Let me see. What's the address here? 10579. I'll show you all that one. We listed it the other day. We got sold it on a lease auction, which I haven't even done the paperwork on that yet. Darn, did I not get a picture? Let me go back. I might have to show you my own pictures then. What's going on, Dietra? What's up? Please put where you're chiming in from and who you are. We just finished a project here. I'm gonna show you the pictures. Y'all can see what it looks like. Oh, another thing I did this weekend, y'all. Let me share with you. I'm just share with you what we do. I got on my first private plane. Let's just remove. How do we do this? Boom. I got on my first private plane, y'all. Look at this. I'm in the plane. Was this not cool? You guys are not gonna believe it. I'm in the plane. So I'm a member of I'm a member of an elite mastermind, right? And at the end of the mastermind, I told him I was going to Disney World. It was in Florida. And the guy says, you know what, let me just fly you up there so I'll just fly you from Tampa to Disney World. Let me show you all the takeoff if y'all want to see. If this was not the coolest thing ever, y'all. Where's the takeoff? Is that the takeoff? Y'all mind if I showed you the takeoff? Okay, cool. I'm in the plane. And you know what's weird? These big planes, when you're in small planes, these big planes look way bigger. So this is as we were taxiing to the runway, this plane's flying by. I'm like, holy shit, I'm in a small ass plane. Yo, I'm telling y'all, being in a small plane, you feel like a real punk. Let me show you the takeoff. I'll get to share with you. I haven't even posted this yet. So that's Jason, he's one of the owners of the Geek Squad that we use to pull our leads. And it's really cool. I didn't know this. So here he is pushing it. I'm gonna show you how to take off when we get back to real estate. All right, here we go. So I'm in this thing. I'm like, this is weird. Oh, come on. Is this not cool or what, y'all? Why does this thing keep buffering? I'll post this on my IG. Make sure you're on my IG. You can see the whole thing. I'm in a plane taking off. I hope you guys enjoy this stuff with me and my scared. I'm scared as shit. I just want you to imagine you're in this little cockpit or whatever. I don't even know what it's called. Fuselage. I'm looking at these big planes as we're flying by. I'm like, okay, feels weird. It's not pressurized, so you can feel the wind going by. As soon as we get off the ground, he hits a button. Oh, what's wrong with this thing? That was just if that's not cool, I hope you guys enjoyed that. As scary as that was. So I told some people I was flying on a plane to. One of my friends is like, oh man, I wouldn't do that shit. I'm like, why? What's wrong with flying on a plane? I mean, I don't know nothing. I didn't even know that it was that scary. It is extremely humbling to be on a little plane up in the air and these big old liners going by. It is extremely interesting. And if you don't know, there is no TSA for private planes, which I didn't know. I'm like, anybody gonna check me? I mean, what if I got something in my bag? I don't know. There is no TSA, no security. You walk in the private private airport, and you just walk on the plane. It's crazy. No one checks you. There is no security. I'm like, don't they gotta check my bag? Make sure I don't have something in the bag.
Sorry, everyone. My neighbor just had a problem and called me up. So sorry about that.
Okay, that's all good. I just showed everybody my private plane ride.
Oh my! You look so happy on that thing. Did you show him the picture with your pilot hat on?
Yeah, I took a picture of the takeoff.
Love it.
Anyway, they already saw
All
it.
as a result of putting yourself in the room.
All a result of putting myself in a room that cost me a lot of money to be in. And I want y'all to understand, Dan and I still to this day spend a ton of money to meet people because this game is constantly moving, is constantly morphing
Constantly.
all the time.
Constantly.
And we don't have it all figured out. So we're here. I just want to share a little bit of life stuff with y'all. I see so many people want to be travel vloggers. I'm like, okay, go get you a plane. Let's see you go do that. Do that.
Absolutely.
Dan, anything new going on with you? Or you putting number? Y'all, please call us with your questions. Call us with your comments.
So yeah, I was
it.
gonna actually I was thinking of putting up a post. I'm not thinking I want to. Guys, I want everyone to know. When Chris and I put up a post, we're doing this. Chris is doing his. I'm doing mine. And I know that kind of sounds crazy, but the reason, and I can't speak for Chris, but I'm going to speak for myself. The reason I do it myself is because every time I've tried to give this out to someone, they don't capture who I am. They don't capture my voice, the message. They make it look real pretty, but it's not. It's not authentic,
to me.
Yeah. Right? So, there's a law that just came out in the city of New York that says every time I order a stove from now on for a tenant, that stove has got to be installed by a licensed master plumber.
Even an electrical stove?
Gas stove.
Oh, okay.
So now, most in the city of New York, most of it is gas. They're trying to push. Yeah, they're trying to push us all over to electric.
Okay.
But this is the problem. When we go to electric, it will cost my tenants a ridiculous amount of money monthly if they have to pay their own heat and electric and their own cooking. If they have their stove and electric, because here in the city of New York, we pay 2 to 3 times more per kilowatt, and we also pay 2 to 3 times more per kilowatt for the delivery charge, as our neighbors in Connecticut or New Jersey. Okay, so my point is, now that they're saying to us landlords, if you buy a new stove if you're changing out a stove for your tenant, it cannot be done unless you're using a licensed master plumber. There are approximately between 1,000 to 1,200 master plumbers in the city of New York. We have a population of over 8 million people. There are states in the United States that don't have 8 million people, but we have in the city of New York. Now, I don't know what that's going to cost, but I'm going to tell you right now, there's no way a master plumber is going to come to any job site without charging me $500 minimum.
That's just the service call.
That's just the service call is like $150, $200 to walk in the door plus the labor.
Wow.
Okay, so imagine that now I got to buy a new stove with the
that's $700
prices that we currently have today.
What the stoves up there?
Depends on the stove, right? But let's say a normal stove, not without all the hooplas, just up with the self oven cleaning, it's $900. That used to cost me $600.
Gas stoves will cost more.
Right. So it's going to cost. It used to cost me it's going to cost me $900. That used to cost me $600 only 9 months ago because of the tariffs. So now I'm paying $300 more for the stove because of tariffs. Now I got to pay another $500 to $700 more to have it installed. I'm at $1,000 more on average. What do you think happens to the rent? So when people say to me, "Hey, why is the rent so high?" Because you have bullshit rules. Matter of fact, if you could look it up, gas stoves, new law installing gas stoves in the city of New York. So think about this. I want everyone to realize this. That all gets pushed on to the tenant.
They don't even know that.
And then on top of that,
federal court. Wow.
There is over 5,000 doors that is going up for auction, red stabilized buildings that are going up on the auction in the city of New York. Now, people think that might be a great deal. People, it is not. Because those rent stabilized buildings, if they're going up for auction, they probably have a shitload of violations because the landlords couldn't afford to maintain the buildings with all the laws that the city of New York passes against landlords. So people say, rent stabilization, rent laws, it's great. But I could tell you my tenants that don't live in a rent stabilized building live a whole lot better at a reasonable price in comparison to rent stabilized buildings. Because I could afford to fix the building. I could afford to clean the building. I could afford to maintain the building. I could afford to put up lighting and extra security cameras and have my supers cleaned twice a week and have them there literally within 24 hours or the same day from a phone call.
Yeah, but you're not the average landlord, Dan. Let me show you all
I
this.
think
You're
there's
crazy.
a lot more of us out there than they are. So you read that if you don't mind.
City council overwhelmingly approved. What's up with your city councilman, dog? New rules for installing appliances on Thursday, despite critics arguing the mandates would mean higher costs for building owners and larger rent bills. Lawmakers 47 to 1
47 to
requires New
1.
Yorkers hire a master plumber or a specialty qualified handyman. What's a specialty qualified handyman, Dan?
That's a good question because they haven't identified what that is. So that they say a specialty high quality handyman. But does that high quality handyman need to go to classes by the buildings department to be certified to do that? That's the question. So no one wants to touch that. It's saying, so before, if I ordered an appliance from an appliance store, they'd say, do you want us to install it? It's another $120. All right, no problem. I'll pay for it. Right now they're saying we're not touching this because that verbiage is so vague. We're not going to get sued for this.
That's why they like it vague, so it's got teeth. They can grab.
If they choose to bite.
We got a question here, Dan. Rob, come on here. Come on to call us so we can talk to. When you have a tenant that leaves and they were a pain, non-payment, and you get a reference check from their new landlord, what do you say or do, Dan?
I tell them the truth. Well, hold on. It all depends what the law is. So if I'm in New Jersey or if I'm in my properties in Florida, I'm going to tell them the truth. If it's in New York City, I'm not going to respond to it because I could be sued. I could be sued.
How can you be sued, Dan? All you did was tell them what to.
No, it doesn't matter. So in the city of New York, you no longer could use, let's say if it was Chris's tenant, and I say, hey, Chris, how was this tenant? Chris says, man, this person was a real piece of shit. They're filthy. They smoke weed all day. They play music all night. They throw garbage out the window. They're real pieces of shit. So I say, you know what? I'm not going to take you. If the tenant pushes the buttons, the right legal buttons, and brings me into court, and I say, well, I didn't accept them because Chris Haskins said they're a real piece of shit. I get sued because legally I no longer could use the reference of a previous landlord against that existing applicant. And now that puts Chris in a position of being sued as well.
How?
Man, I'm not the attorney. I'm just telling you what my attorneys are telling me. I'm just telling you. So if I do not, when people ask me for a reference, okay, the only time I'll give them a reference letter is if they're really good tenants. That I will do because they were good tenants. Now I'm telling the truth. If they were terrible tenants, I'm just going to ignore the request. I'm not going to do it.
That is really rough. Okay, so
I don't want to be dragged in.
I feel like you got this Dr. Jekyll Hyde thing. You got this dancing game you got to do depending on where your properties are. I don't like that.
Correct. It is what it is, man. It's part of the business.
So New York, Jersey, you're telling the truth. Florida, you're telling the truth. New York, you're not.
I'm not telling any story. I'm just not going to respond. Now, if they were good tenants, yeah, I'm going to write a great reference letter because you were good tenants. Why wouldn't I?
So you can do something as long as it's not something that's derogatory
or negative.
Okay, cool.
Right? You're not going to hold me. You're not going to drag me into court because I said you were a good tenant. That you paid on time and that you were clean, right? And you were easy to communicate with. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying, right? Now, if I say, hey, I looked in the files, and as of the last 12 months, they paid 6 months time. They paid 6 months late, and they didn't want, and they refused to pay the late fee. Even though I may have that documented, I can't. I'm not going to share it because I don't want to be caught in any legal matters. So I'm just not going to answer it. I'm just not going to respond to it, because if I don't respond to it, I'm not lying about it, and I'm not. I can't be accused of anything.
Where did this come from, Dan? Why is it like that?
Because you have a bunch of morons, a bunch of politicians that have never run a successful business in their life, living off the government financial tit, the taxpayers, their entire careers, telling us people that actually generate money how to make money. How to make money. I'll give you guys an example. I have a relative, and I won't mention the state that she works for. And one day we're having a conversation. This happened last year, and we were talking about a situation that happened with the neighbor. This is in Jersey, and she, it was something went wrong with some codes or whatever, and she was saying, "Well, that's not right. The seller has money; they should pay." So my argument is, you happen to know the seller, and you know they have money, but that's irrelevant. It was the buyer who didn't do their due diligence, and the buyer's representatives, whether it had been the title company, the person who did the engineer's report, the realtor, the attorney that represented that buyer. So she turns around and she says, and that's why I work with making policy, so that crooks like that and people and business people, just people like that can't get away with this. So I said to her, I says, well, let me ask you a question, because I know her her whole life. I said, she's a relative. I said, refresh my memory. When have you never worked for the government? You've been working for the government since you graduated from college. Then you went and got your master's with the government paying for it, right? I says, tell me, when is it that you've ever not worked for the government? She goes, what does that have to do with it? I said, because weren't you the person that had to go to your brother and your father for a $20,000 loan because you couldn't afford to fix your basement floor? I said, business people don't do that. We figure that shit out. So stop trying to impose your stupid ideology policies on business people, the very same people that pay the taxes that you live off of, that you can't even manage your own money, but you want to tell us how to manage our money.
Oh Lord, Dan.
When people ask me, where do these laws come from? It comes from that mentality. You have a bunch of morons sitting in the city council or in the mayor's office or in the governor's office, and they've never worked a real honest day in their life. Chris, let me ask you a question. When you had your kids, how many days off did you get for that? I forget what they call it, something family leave. Anyone could please put it.
Paternity leave.
What is that called?
Maternity leave
gives you a month or 2 months, sometimes 3 months, depending on your job, that you could get. Chris, how many days off did you get when you had kids? FMLA. Thank you. That's to you. How many of those?
I get no. I don't get days off. I don't even know what a day off. I don't even know what day off means. Dan.
Right.
I don't even know what it means.
These people want to tell us how to run our business. Get out of here.
So let me bring up a house we just listed. I want to show people the amount of work we're having to do to sell these properties now. Mark, Dan, how's the market up there? Is it softening? Is it still strong? What is it?
You know what, man? I see the market. It's not softening in the Northeast, but in Florida, my properties are very soft right now. Not only on the resale, but even on the rental. My rentals, when people move out, I'm actually now renting it for less than I was renting it before they moved out.
Oh,
so people
wow.
rents don't go down. That's a lie, people. In my career, I've seen two different times that rents have come down, and now it's going to be the third.
Let's talk about it. So we just finished this one up. Remember, Dan, we were talking about my guy came on last time. I want to make sure, Dan, immediately I'm sure you see it. You never sell a house unless the skirt's painted. It has no. This is not all we get. We still have a little things to do here, but you got to paint that skirt, y'all. You said you do that too, Dan.
I do. You want the grass is always cut. The windows are
Edged
spotted.
up.
Did you power wash that sidewalk?
Yep. You see, it looks nice and bright.
It does.
We got a couple of things to do. It not all the way done on the outside.
The railings are always painted. The sidewalk is always. I'll share something else with you guys. Sometimes if the neighbor's sidewalks are dirty, I'll power wash both sides of the house. You know, the sidewalk.
Yeah, why not? Throw it in there, right?
Yeah. First thing I'm gonna tell you, nobody's ever gonna complain to you because you clean the front of their house for free.
Sometimes we'll fix the fence. We'll fix the side of the house. Little things we'll do. Well, I do it. I mean, because I want it to look. You want the house to sell. So we stage them. We got luxury vinyl plank, which I hate, but people love it. And the kids went with me over there. We got we're doing, what is this called?
Quartz.
Yep. I hope my kids are appreciating this stuff. That's our neighbor. We took our neighbor's kid over there with us. Staging it, everything up.
The thing I would have done differently there, Chris, is
What?
the top of the kitchen cabinets.
With the trim?
I would have put in that 2-inch or 2.5-inch
Up
mold.
here?
Yeah.
Sometimes we do.
That's not very expensive. It would have cost you probably another $300-400.
Sometimes we do it, sometimes we don't. And I don't even know what is the qualification if we do it or not. I have to talk to my business partner. Y'all see this? We don't. I don't know if Dan does. We never put a refrigerator in these things.
So here in New York and in Florida, you do.
Why?
It gives it the finished look. It's just that's what I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we don't. So
especially if I'm going to fix and flip, I'm going to get like, the GE profile package, something that I could actually advertise as it being, premium package.
Oh, okay. That might work.
Yeah.
We use it for a negotiating tool. Y'all, I want y'all to say this is not me against Dan. This is just Dan doing it one way, us doing it one way, okay? I don't want y'all to think neither one of us is right or wrong. You pick
I want everyone to know Chris and I do this business totally different from each other, and yet we're still very successful. So there are certain things that is right and wrong in this business. But what determines what we do as far as detailed finish work, a lot of it times, is the market that we're targeting.
Mm-hmm.
In addition, the market itself tells us what we need to do. So I'll give you guys an example. In New York City, you won't find one of my apartments with a dishwasher or with a washer and dryer. Won't do it. But if I go to Florida, every single one of my apartments in Florida have dishwashers, washer and dryer. Because if I don't have a dishwasher and a washer and dryer in my apartments, then I rent it. And if I rent it, I'm going to pay $200. I'm going to get $200 less.
Ain't nobody coming.
No. So
that's almost like,
I'm listening, Chris.
That's almost like central heating in there in the South. Like you ain't getting no tenant unless you got central heating in there.
So I don't determine what the market dictates. The market tells me what I have.
Tells you. There you go. There you go. The market's bigger than me and Dan, y'all.
I'm not going to try to beat the market.
You can't. Even if you did.
The market tells me to go, right, Chris?
Yeah. Even if you tried, you'd lose. So we do carpet here. We staged it. That's my little next door neighbors and this my little TT. We got granite. I'm sorry. Quartz here again. Vinyl. Brand new bathroom. Brand new tub. Surround. We're doing ceramic tile surround. You see, this has we had to cut this cabinet down and make it fit, but they worked out pretty good. Then black.
If you don't mind, go back to the tiles that you use. I want to point something out to people. So those are 12 by 24 inch tiles.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you use those instead of using railroad, Chris?
Instead of using what?
The little railroad tiles at 4x6 or 4x8.
Shit, way more work. Way more. You know, these things. And in fact, Dan, we've been thinking about going to those big ones. You seen those big 24 by 24 joints? They're we
Huge.
think. Hmm?
They're huge.
I like these because it's less work. We probably got what 50 pieces of towel in here. I mean, I could deliver these. We got 5, 6 boxes, and the whole shower's done. Boom.
So
Simple.
the reason I use those on my rentals is because it's less grout lines,
Yep, let's grow.
less maintenance, less cleaning when people leave. Now, if I'm selling the property, depending on what my target market is. If I'm going for that wow factor, I'm going to spend a little bit more money and put in the subway tiles, right? Also, if it's in, but depends on what price point I'm selling the property. But the reason I use again these size tiles is because in my rental properties, because it looks really clean. Look at this, people. It's that grayish white.
Yeah, no grout.
I love those black fixtures. I don't put them in my rentals because if people aren't clean, they start to turn like white and corroded
Mm-hmm.
because of the minerals in the water. But I will use the nickel plate in my rentals. But if I'm selling the property, I'm going to go with those black ones. And I'm also going to go with the subway tiles. I'm going to give it the white.
Okay.
But it all
A lot
depends
more grout.
if the price point that I'm going to sell the property justifies the expense.
A lot more grout. Way more grout, y'all. And
I'm more, it's more labor intense.
I don't like using them small joints, man. It's just, Dan, I can't stand it, dude. I remember the first time I used it, I'm like, you used the whole bag of grout on a tub surround fit and all that? I couldn't believe it.
Yep.
Round up. Listen, if you haven't already, if you're a landlord that's getting destroyed in this market, join the waiting list for the Ultimate Landlord Survival Guide training. Dan and I don't have a date yet, but we would love to talk to you. Us, we will be calling you. We don't have a sales floor and people call it. We're hands on with this stuff still now. That's not to say that later. I'm trying to get Dan on board. We're trying to get a whole team put together, but right now we're doing the calling and all the coaching. So
Yeah, I
there's a
want
link.
people to know just because you signed up doesn't mean you're going to be in the class.
That's true.
The truth is that we are going to call you and interview you. And we want to make sure that you're ready for this class because this class is intense. This is not this is not real estate 101. This is real estate 4.0,
Mm-hmm.
right? You want to learn how to maximize your cash flow. You want to learn how to manage your tenants before your tenants manage you. You want to learn how to increase your tenant satisfaction, but as simultaneously decreasing your tenant turnover. You want to learn about seasonal maintenances, what those are, what and when you should be doing what, and why is it so important, how that's going to save you on capital improvements later. If you want to learn how to do this business the right way from people that actually have success doing this, definitely go to you want to put up the website, Chris?
I can, yeah. It's right in the show notes below, or just go to. Okay, I just lost the whole thing. Oh, just go to Dan Chris Deal.
Yeah, go to God bless you,
Excuse
brother.
me. Thank you. Go to Dan Chris Deal, y'all. We'll be doing the ultimate landlord survey. We want y'all to be able to. If you don't know how these tenants will drive you insane if you let them. Okay, you got to learn how to manage them. Period. There's no other way around it.
Guys, you have your questions, we're here, right? Please come on live with us, ask us your questions. We're here to serve you tonight. All you got to do is type the numbers right there.
757-204-1332. Yes, the black fixtures. What color fixtures you using? Dan Arnold says he likes the black fixtures.
I like the black fixtures if I'm doing a fix and flip. If I'm doing a long-term hold, I'm going to put in the nickel plated, because with the black fixtures, if the tenant's not clean, they get that white corroded stuff because of the minerals of the water.
Long-term hold.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
flip only.
it all depends. I love the black fixtures. I also like the black hinges on the doors,
Yeah.
the black door handles. it's a more modern look, right? But again, if it's a rental, I'm not doing that. If it's a
Why don't
fix and flip, I'm doing it.
Rob wants to know why I don't like LVP. I want to make sure I understand, huh?
VP flooring, I think he's talking about.
LVP, yeah. I just want to make sure that y'all understand me personally. So I personally don't like it. I use it everywhere, but I just don't think people understand that you're walking on plastic. I mean, I don't even think like homeowners. It's the craziest thing, but they don't ask me. You know, just like Mark Dan said, the market's bigger than us. I would put. I remember Dan. Do you know I used to put real hardwood in my flips, and I would put real hardwood in the comments. Not one time did somebody say that they wanted real hardwood floors.
Yeah, and see that in New York City, that's what people want.
They
So
oh okay okay
again, who dictates to you? The market. I'll give you guys
buyer.
a story. I want everyone here to know my first business was a video store. It was called Mr. D Video. And I remember in the beginning when I was ordering all these so we would know what was coming out on video 3, 4, 5 months in advance.
Mm,
You have to put in your order, especially if there were titles that you probably would have a high demand. So what I would do was I would be looking at the Academy Award winners and ordering more of those titles than I would of the others. And what I quickly found out, and those titles were always back then $60, $70, and we're talking about 1985. That was
good
a lot of
gracious.
money back then. So I quickly found out, and then I had a guy who would come in and he'll sell me what they call B movies, like karate movies and B class horror movies, and real like real cruddy stuff that I thought was cruddy that I would never even look at, right? And I'd be like, nah. And then one day I said, you know what? Let me buy a couple of these karate movies because people were asking me for them. Those karate movies used to cost me $12, and I'm renting them for the same price that I was renting the A movies that I was ordering for $60, $70. And you know what I found out? That a lot of the A movies that I'd ordered 20, 30 copies deep. All I needed was three. So I was out over $1,000, and it was going to take me forever to recoup my money on those titles. So what I started to learn was, it's not what I like.
Mm,
What I like is irrelevant.
it's irrelevant. You don't even matter. Actually, you don't
Yeah,
matter. I
no.
don't care. I don't care what you like, really. Not
It's what
person.
my customers liked is what
That's right.
I remember. WrestleMania 1 came out. I don't even know what number they're up to now. WrestleMania 1 came out. That that title would cost me about $22, $23. I had to buy 40 of those. But I was making the same amount of money per turn as when I purchased an A title for $70. Would I ever have watched WrestleMania? No.
You gotta give them what they want, dog.
You got to give people what they want. The market tells you what you have to do to the property.
Yep. Y'all call in with your questions. I want to show y'all one more thing. Then we'll leave this property alone. Share screen. Rob brought up my sink fixture in the bathroom. Another thing that I loathe. I want y'all to understand that I hate. I hate dual water faucets. Hot on the left, cold on the right. Like I will not live in a house with the. I can't stand these shits. Right?
You know what?
But
I'd rather have that. But
huh?
in my house, that's what I have.
This is what Dan got. All right. Well, here's another thing. I do not have the time to be mixing no damn water. Like I'm not gonna do the thing that I'm not gonna do it. But to sell a property, these from where I'm at, they are extremely they're extremely less expensive than the one faucet. There,
So when I'm selling a property, I put those in because they look nicer. If I'm renting a property, I'm going to put the one lever in because it's easier to maintain.
you got one less thing that can break.
Yes.
So everybody has a different thing. Everybody's different. So I always put one levers in my rental properties. That's a good point.
That's what I put in my rental
It's
properties.
just off on, and it's so easy to change those. What
Yeah.
are they called? The
Yeah.
cartridges.
The cartridges are more for the uh, shower body.
They have. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. That is one. I'm sorry. That's for the
Guys,
shower valve.
when it comes to shower bodies, there's only 3 brands I buy for my apartments.
Let me guess. Delta, Moen. You definitely do not buy Home Depot Lowe's brand. I know that.
I buy Delta, Cola, and
Cola.
American Standard.
Oh, you don't do Moen?
No, I used to, but when they sold that company and they started
Yeah,
making everything in China,
it's cheap.
it came out. It's like I remember I started. It was like one year I had like 5 or 6 calls to change leaky faucets, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I'd never get this many calls to change leaky faucets on my New York properties.
Delta,
When I
American
I
Standard,
looked,
Cola.
it was a mowing. I'm asking my handyman. And I said, you know what? And when it got to the third mowing, I was like, do me a favor, take that shit apart and bring it back to. Or send me a picture. I want to see this. Everything was plastic, garbage plastic. I
Mm,
said, okay. And then I read up on it, and they sold the company, and then they were making everything in China, and they lost their quality control. And
that's true.
since then, I haven't bought any more mowings. I won't pay for them.
I
I
forgot
don't
about
give a
that.
shit how pretty they look. Not doing it. Delta, American Standard, Cola. You need a part, the plumbing supply house has it. If they don't have it, you can order it. It gets to you like this.
I forgot about that. They did sell that day. They did get real cheap. Tell Dan, tell people why you don't use Home Depot Lowe's brands.
Cheap shit. You. The truth is, if I was buying your property and you have those Home Depot and Lowe's brands, I'm not buying your property because I'm assuming if you're going cheap with finish work, I don't know what you did behind the walls.
You got to spend the money, and it only costs a little bit more.
No, and
But
by
I
the way,
wouldn't buy the.
Chris, when you put in those cheap products, doesn't it cost you more in the long run?
You got to buy another toilet soon. The guts gone. And you know what's weird? Those most people don't know this. Landlords do. All these fixtures have a lifespan, y'all. I didn't know that when I was younger. It's just, it's just waiting to break. And the corrosion, something in the water, the minerals, like Dan saying, it'll eat up your fixture, your sink fixture. It just eats it up, corrodes it out.
Guys, those are the 3 brands I highly recommend people stick with.
All right, y'all
I,
get your questions
I
in. We ain't gonna be
got
10,
one more. Yeah, come on, people. How many people do we have on here, Chris?
40 people.
40 people.
I guess they got it down. I'll show you a demo we're working on. I don't know. I mean, I can show y'all so much stuff.
Anybody have a question for us? We're here to serve you.
Let's see. Somebody, Ace Stevia wants to know what's causing the. What were you talking about Florida earlier? What were you saying, Dan? The
Do what?
rent's going down or rent's going up?
Oh yeah, rent's going down.
Ace Stevia wants to know why rent's going down in Florida.
Less people.
People moving out of Florida.
Oh yeah. You have a lot less people moving in than you had during COVID and before COVID. And uh, the reality is that there are less jobs being created as a result of laws that are coming out from the governor's office as well as from the feds. So they have these laws to get rid of all these migrants, which is cool. If that's what you believe in. I'm not disagreeing with you, but there's always a reaction to every action, and you have to remember when you have those migrants working, doing all the jobs that we don't want to do, Americans don't want to do. They are actually generating an economy, right? So you have people working with jobs that we don't want to do. They're also spending money. They got to buy clothes, they got to buy food, they got to buy gas to get to work, they got to pay for insurance for that vehicle, they got to pay rent. The, the owner of the property where they're paying rent at has to fix the roof, maintain the grass, paint the house, maintain the inside of the house, pay insurance, pays real estate taxes, right? So that whole economy they kicked out of the state of Florida. Hundreds of thousands of people. What do you think is going to happen? Now, whether you agree with this or not, it's irrelevant. I don't care. And I'm not saying I agree with it or not agree with it. I'm just pointing out the facts. You have right now, I have two properties that are coming up right now that I have not renovated those apartments in 20 years. They still look good because of the quality tenants I have and the quality material I use. But I'm not going to put in a new kitchen at 50% more because of the tariffs. I'm not going to pay my electrician another 40%. I can't hear you, Chris. Can't hear you. Can't hear you, Chris. I guess Chris talking. So, guys, guess what's happening? I'm not renovating those apartments. If I'm not renovating those apartments, that's two construction crews that are not getting hired. What happens with the contractor who hires the workers in those construction crews? Less work, right? So the truth of the matter is there's less work. Less work means less people living there. And if people ain't working, they can't afford to pay the increase of rents. Can you hear me, Chris? Can you hear me, Chris? Did I lose you? What's the best way to pay contractors? Whether payment?
And
What happened, Chris?
my whole system went out. What?
I don't know. Were you able to hear me while I was talking? Were you guys able to
Wait a
hear?
minute.
Can you guys hear me? If you guys can hear me, put up a number one on the chat if you don't mind.
Dan, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I don't know what that was.
So somebody's asking, what Rob A is asking, what do you do in regards to utilities when the unit are empty or name or something? I turn on the utilities as soon as the tenant moves out under my company name, especially in Florida. You do not want to leave an empty house or an apartment in Florida without central air in the air flowing because you will get mold because of the humidity.
Oh, really?
Okay. Oh yeah.
All right, Dan, let me see something here. I hear you. We had a call. 1 second.
Yeah. If somebody called in, please call back in.
Yeah. Sorry about that. I really screwed that up.
What's the best way to pay contractors, whether payment methods or sequence, for example, down payment or pay based on milestones? How do you guys pay and structure your payments? So if I'm supplying all the material, I never pay until the job's done. Job's done, contractor gets paid.
Why not, Dan?
Because it's not costing them nothing other than the labor. He's getting pretty much. So if he says, well, I got 50% of the work done and I got to make payroll, no problem. I'm going to give you 25 to 30% of the work of the value of the work you got done. So let's say the job was 10,000, you got 50% done. It's 5,000 that you got done. I'm going to pay you 2,500. I want to always keep more money on my side. That's to keep you engaged and make sure you get to work every day.
Did I got the wrong number?
Yeah. The other thing I'm going to say, guys, is when you say paying deposits, I do pay deposits only if the contract, if I have to. It's because sometimes contractors know you and they're just as afraid of not getting paid as you are as I'm not showing up. So
right.
I'll pay them a deposit, but it's going to be on my credit card. If you don't show up, I'm just going to dispute my credit card.
I love that. I gotta get T-shirt back on the line too. I found that shoulder here. Somebody call Tisha if you hear me. I got your back. I got you. 1 second, Dan. I'm trying to get on. Was this her? It was Tisha called me. I felt terrible. My whole system just froze up on me. I'm sorry, y'all. I really screwed up. Y'all know me. Calling you on the line with Chris and Dan. State your name. Where you calling from?
Tisha.
T-shirts.
Can you hear me?
I killed you.
Hi.
What up?
Hello. How are you?
What's going on?
So I wanted to ask you guys, a lot of these apartments now, like the newly renovated apartments in New York City, they're using these gray color like planks on the floor. How long will they last? What's the durability? What are your thoughts about it?
They're using what?
Are they the peat the rubber like peat? What do you call the flooring? Peat
Oh, the flooring, the floor. They can pour. You can pour it down.
flooring.
I mean, you pour it down with the stuff with the flakes in it.
No.
So they're
You know the laminate flooring you can buy it like Floor Decor, Home Depot, the vinyl stuff that you call plastic. That comes in different
vinyl.
color grays. Yeah. I mean, look, if that's what you like, that's what you like. I wouldn't put that down in New York City, but
Luxury vinyl plank, LVP.
Okay.
look, it all depends too. Like I know people that'll pay $3 a square foot for those vinyl planks, and they'll last you a very long time. You know, you're paying $3 to $6 a square foot. That's a better quality plank than if you go to Home Depot and you're paying 99 cents or $1.10 for. You know, you pay for what you get. Am I wrong, Chris?
Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna have a mil number.
Yeah.
It's the thickness of it. Which, if you're selling a house, you know,
Okay.
you just what is it? You want to have an 8? Is that what is it 8 or a 10? I can't remember that. I don't buy it. Might be a 12. And the cheaper it is, the louder it sounds.
And the more it scratches.
Yeah, so
Did we
thanks
lose?
for calling. Yeah, well, teacher, thanks for calling. Some other people call.
Yeah. Calling guys. There's a question here with the New
That's
York
right, epoxy. Thank you.
law legalizing basement apartments. Dan, do you think this change could eventually extend to lower rental units currently classified as sellers? The truth is this, guys. I haven't looked into the law, and I haven't looked into it because I have absolutely no interest in doing it, and I'll explain to you why. Let's say I get all my architectural approvals. I'm into it for $15,000 to $20,000 between paying the architect, the expediters, and getting the permits before we start doing the work. Fast forward, now I run my gas lines, my electric lines. You know, we did everything we were supposed to do according to the permit, the architectural designs that they gave us permission to do with a permit. They'll come in and say, yeah, but now we got to check the gas line going up the house. Why? You're here to see this. Oh, no, we got to check. It opens up a can of worms. The city of New York encourages people not to do permitted work because every time the plumbing department guy comes, oh, well, the rule changed last week. You got to do it this way now. I said,
You said that before.
I said, you piece of shit. You were just here 2 weeks ago. You couldn't tell me the law was going to change and tell me to do it that way?
That's rough, dog.
So I personally, I look at everything like this. If I'm going to do my basement, and it's going to cost me $120,000, it better add another $240,000 to my building's net worth. I want to be at 50% of the after renovation value. People say, man, damn, that's high. Says it ain't enough to deal with the bullshit coming out of the city of New York with their buildings department.
Wow.
You know the anxiety you go through, the stress you go through, the carrying cost is going to cost you more money for that hard money loan because they can't figure out their own shit and you can't do nothing about it. So the idea itself is a great idea to let owners make the attics and the basements as living space as long as it's permitted right. I don't have a problem with that. I think it's a great idea. I think it's going to lower rents. The more supply you have, the less demand. The less demand, the lower the rent. Great if that's what you want to do to lower the rent, but not if you're going to make it expensive and difficult. Screw that shit. I ain't touching it.
All right, we're out of here. No more calls. We had a few calls. Listen, if you haven't signed up yet, the link is in the show notes below. Dan and I are going to be teaching the Ultimate Landlord Survival Guide training. It's going to be several week training only for people that need to learn how to maximize their tenant income and get tenants that are going to stay with you and take care of the property. If you already got that covered, you don't need us. Anything else, Dan? We gone.
Yeah, Rob A has a question. LVP kitchens or versus tiles? Kitchens, washer dryer areas, bathrooms. Common denominator, water.
High water and high foot traffic.
So
front door too, Dan?
Absolutely. So
All
they're
you
going
gotta do is
to tell you on an LVP, it's water resistant. It ain't waterproof, people. And I'm going to tell you put down tiles, but you make sure you put down porcelain tile, not that bullshit ceramic tile.
why?
Because when it chips, it has the same color all the way through.
Mm-hmm.
You crack a ceramic tile, you're going to see the lines and everything pink. You got to get your at. Plus, porcelain's a lot more difficult to chip or crack. So, LVP, you want to use it? I don't have a problem with it. Don't tell me you're using it in your kitchen and bathrooms or your laundry rooms, because that just to me is foolish. It's just stupid.
LVP?
If you use LVP in wet areas, I just think it's insanity.
I'm just saying. We just put it all the way through the first floor, and we're just flipping houses. You know, they like we're not holding them. Do we use text message? No, we don't. Do you use text messaging, Dan?
No.
Oh wow, we got a love offering here. Who is this from? BK Tene. Thank you so much. Learned so much from both of us. Thank you so much for that love offering. Wow, that is cool right there. Thank you. It's an honor. All right, Dan. I'll see you soon. Y'all make sure you join the wait list if you need our assistance, and we would love to give you a call, let you know how we can help you manage your tenant. Dan, I'll see you next Sunday. Peace.
Take care.
Why is this kid screaming like this? I don't understand.